Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We're located in Frederick, Colorado. My name is Larry Vickers. To get a hold of me, simply call the office at 303-684-3404. The Freightliner we're going to take a look at today is very unique, and I'm going to tell you why. This is a 2017 Freightliner M2 112. The conversion is sport truck. This truck has just a touch over 23,000 miles. But before we start taking a look and analyzing everything, let's just talk about the truck for a second and what makes it unique. First and foremost is the extreme emphasis on safety that was put into this truck, and you're going to see that as we go through it. Secondly, it's an M2 112. And basically what that means, it has the big block engine in it, which will allow it to tow a substantial amount more than the 106. And thirdly is the amount of miles it has. I stated this has just a touch over 23,000 miles. So as we look at it from the side view and kind of talk about a couple of things that jump out at us. One big thing is the amount of storage capability that this truck offers. As you can see from the side view, there's 3 separate compartments on the back, and in addition to that, there's one put on the top as well that we'll get into in a little bit. But that's the one big thing that jumps out at you when you're looking at it from the side. The second thing is the amount of lighting that's on the truck. As you can see, there's a row running along the bottom, right there in the middle, and on top of the steps. So at night, this truck really lights itself up. In addition to that, fender flares were put on simply to dress the truck up a little bit. Now let's take a front view. And we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. You can see a light bar running right across here. As we take a look at the grille, you can see it's very large. So if we were just to look at the trucks, that's one way we could tell that it's a 112 and not a 106 is by the size of this grille. And the reason is this particular engine requires a substantial amount of airflow running through there. So that's why we have the larger grille. As we take a look at the engine, that's the Detroit Diesel 13. This engine offers 505 horsepower, 1,850 foot-pounds of torque. It is coupled with the Allison 4000 TRV 6-speed transmission. So when it comes to towing capability, this truck is really unmatched, especially if you compare it to the smaller block engines. For you guys out there pulling the large horse trailers, our heavy RVs, are using it to tow those heavy trailers, that is a huge advantage to this particular truck. As you can see, the hood, the only way to get it down is to manually force it down. This hood is made of compressed fiberglass. So the huge advantage to this is obvious. It's a lot tougher. If a hailstorm comes through, it'll demolish your pickup, but you won't be able to tell that anything has happened to that hood. Even though it is low miles, we still put brand new tires on it. Those are 305 70 R22.5. I mentioned safety was a big emphasis. Right here is one of the reasons why. As you can see, there's a camera right there. Now, when you're driving the truck and you turn that turn signal on to come to the left, this camera is going to kick on. So it will show you exactly what's running along beside you. Right here is the block heater. So as we get into those cold winter months It's a good practice to get into to plug that in at night. Underneath here is the fuel and def tank. The def tank holds 13 gallons. The fuel tank holds 50. 50 gallons there and 50 gallons on the other side. As we take a look in the back seat, and this one's a little bit different. We're used to seeing this back here made into a bed that collapses down. Well, can we get an individual shot, Jody? These have 3 individual seats, okay? And they're all 3 air. So you can adjust those to how high you want to sit. So when you're in your travels, you're basically riding on air. That, coupled with the fact that it has such an immense leg room in here, really makes those long 12, 13-hour trips feel like nothing. Now let's focus on the bed for a little bit. Right up here is an additional fuel tank, an auxiliary fuel tank. That holds 90 gallons. So if you take that 90 coupled with the 2 50-gallon fuel tanks, you actually have 190 gallons of fuel. So you're able to go a long ways. Recent data is showing 8 to 10 miles per gallon for fuel on these trucks. As we take a look inside the storage, as you can see, all that is diamond plated. The previous owner did put the not for hire label on there, so it won't be confused with the commercial truck. These are lockable up here, so you can lock these to protect all your items inside. Now let's take a look directly behind. We're going to work from the ground up. As you can see, substantial lighting behind. Bumper pull hitch located here. This camera is a little bit unique from the standpoint, as you can see, it's positioned down to help you if you hook up a trailer. However, once you put it in reverse, this will actually come up a little bit and show you what's behind you as well. The truck is equipped with Airlines. You can see the glad hands located right here. So if your trailer is air, you can simply hook those up right there. As we focus in on the hitch, that's the Hensley hitch, also known as the trailer saver. And the reason is, you can see 2 airbags behind. There's an additional one up front. So when you're in your travels, it's not just metal on metal. The trailer is basically riding on air. So not only does that prolong the life of your trailer, but also helps the truck out as well. As we continue forward, you can see there's the door for the auxiliary fuel tank. As we come on up, we see the Sport Truck logo right there. And go up a little further than that, you can see an additional backup camera as well. As we take a look at this side, again, basically 4 storage components. Here, and back there. Plus there's one located here. The truck does come with a little step located here to help us get up and in. As we take a look inside the passenger seat, these are air as well. In addition to that, they're heated and vented. And we'll go over where those adjustments are here in a little bit. Let's crawl on in and take a closer look. So as all the haulers, when you go to start your truck, you can start it from the ground, but you're going to want to turn that key about halfway, let those gauges go all the way over and reset themselves, and then start your truck. One unique feature about this truck is that the previous owner, and I really like what he did, he labeled everything. So anything that you might have any question on what it is, it's already labeled and ready to go. An example, this truck has 33,000 pound GVWR. In addition, it's 11 feet, 2 inches high, 8 feet wide, and 26 feet long. This is our brake. So right now we are in neutral with the brake on. This is our trailer air supply. As we come on across, mirror heaters located here. Intermittent marker lights located here. This is the gauge for our auxiliary fuel tank. Now you have to manually transfer it over. So once you're transferring that over, you're going to want to keep an eye on everything because you have to manually shut it off. As we come on over and take a look, those are the fog lamps located here. This is actually the fuel tank here. I misspoke. This is air, this is fuel. This button here is the one that transfers it from the auxiliary to the main fuel tanks. Engine brake located here, where this has the ability to tow a substantial amount. If you're coming down a sharp decline, it's a good practice to go ahead and turn that on. Because as you're coming downhill with this size of an engine, and that's on high engine brake, you actually have almost 500 horses coming back at you. So that makes things safer for everyone on the road. This locks the differential right here. The trailer brake, okay, right here is what you use for the trailer brake. This actually monitors that, so you can see how much braking you are used by this right here. Climate control located here. As you take a look, some cup holders located across the front. This is also labeled. So driver's side, you can turn either to heat or vented. In addition, the lumbar button is located here. So that puts air in the back of the seat. And the passengers are located right here. This is stock number 5U221315. If you have any other questions about it, please feel free to give me a call. The cell phone number 970-370-4067. The work extension 303-684-3404. Feel free to email me at larry.vickers@transwest.com. Thanks for tuning in today.